All right, the president delivered a soaring first State of the Union address. Almost 50 million Americans watched last night. And by the way, by far, more people watched the Fox News channel. We really want to say thank you so much for trusting us. We want to earn that trust every day. Now, the speech highlighted the president's many accomplishments, and he touted how he is now enacting Reagan-style conservative principles, and they're working. Now, of course, the vast majority of Democrats, led by negative Nancy Pelosi, they hated every single second of it, and it was obvious. And they sat on their hands with a scowl on their face, refusing to applaud things you would think they'd want to applaud. Historically low unemployment in the country. Now, just take a look at some of the examples of the Democrats just playing petty partisan politics. Take a look.
We are finally seeing rising wages. African-American unemployment stands at the lowest rate ever recorded. Hispanic American unemployment has also reached the lowest levels in history.
All right, we're going to have more on the Democrats' ridiculous behavior. That's coming up later in the show. You see, the left in America, they have no ideas. They have no solutions. They don't stand for anything except they're against President Trump. They hate President Trump. Now, Congressman Luis Gutierrez even walked out of the speech during chants of USA, USA, and his excuse? Oh, he had to get ready for an interview. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders is calling out Pelosi and the Democrats with some really, really powerful truth. Take a look.
I think Nancy Pelosi looks like that all the time. I think she should smile a lot more often. I think the country would be better for it. She seems to kind of embody the bitterness that belongs in the Democrat Party right now. I think last night was a good step forward. Hopefully they can let go of some of that, and they have to make a big decision. They need to decide, Chris, do they love America more than they hate this president? And are they willing to put some of those differences aside, come together, and do what's right for this country?
Now, wouldn't that be great? What a terrific point. Come together, fix the country, help the forgotten men and women. Well, will Democrats ever put the country before the hatred of the president? Interesting question to ponder. Now, we have our doubts. Remember, they supported 8 years of Obama's failure. We had 13 million more Americans on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty, the lowest labor participation rate since the 70s, the worst economic recovery since the 40s, the lowest home ownership rate in 51 years, and Obama accumulated more debt than every other president before him combined. And he was the only president never to reach 3% GDP growth in the course of his presidency in any one given year. And then you have the liberal mainstream media. They are in full breakdown, freak-out mode over the president's successful State of the Union address. You can't make this up. Their bias is so transparent.
What you saw tonight was President Trump, I think, and with one hand reaching out his hand to Democrats, and with the other hand holding up a fist.
If the president met with me after the speech, I would say to him, well, that was how not to give a unifying speech.
Again, sort of stoking, I think many would say, racial tensions by bringing up this issue of kneeling.
I think his rhetoric last night set things back. The way he sold immigration really offended a lot of Democrats that were listening in that room.
If that was an attempt at unity, he's got a lot of work to do. I go through these things, especially these teleprompter speeches he gives. It's not him, but you can tell he's reading it. He doesn't own it.
He was selling sweet-tasting candy with poison in it.
I thought it revealed Donald Trump's deep and almost sort of sad obsession with being liked. You tell me
what about that
room is supposed to respond like this to the great dictator?
No, but they're not supposed to sit on their hands.
Really?
All right, and that's not all. The whole network, fake news CNN, they went on full-on conspiratorial mode about the color of the First Lady, Melania Trump's outfit. Now, this speculation is an utter disgrace, but sadly very predictable. Let's take a look.
Is there anything you want to tell us about her outfit?
You know, she's wearing a cream-colored suit there, which I find interesting. Remember last year, the female Democratic senators all wore white, a bunch of them to protest Trump's policies against women. So there was even a hashtag, women wear white. Listen, it could be a total coincidence, but I just find a lot of the stuff she does these days to look at it twice.
And NBC News, they can't give up their obsession with the, quote, Russia investigation, even moments before the State of the Union. This, too, a disgrace. Watch.
This is a president who's under criminal investigation right now for obstruction of justice with regard to the Russia investigation. So a lot going on in the backdrop.
There is a missing major figure in this hall tonight that we ought not to forget about, and that is the special prosecutor of the United States, who is at this hour probably meeting with his team.
He's not there, where they go hovers. He sort of hovers over the chamber, doesn't he?
That is an extraordinarily important part of what's going on in Washington, D.C.
An abject lesson. This shows you just how completely out of touch the liberal mainstream destroy Trump media really is. It didn't matter what the president said last night. The media had already predetermined that they were going to hate it. But, of course, you, the American people, you had a very different reaction to the State of the Union. Let's look at the CBS News poll. 75% of people who watch, they approved of the president's speech. And even fake news, the whole network, CNN, their poll showed that a combined 70% of speech watchers, they had a positive reaction. Now, if you just watched the media's hysterical coverage, you wouldn't know any of this, and you probably even think that everybody hated the speech. That's why on this program we call them the Destroy Trump media. Now, also important breaking news this hour. We have massive developments regarding the release of the 4-page classified memo exposing Obama-era surveillance of members of the Trump campaign and the Trump transition. And sources are telling me tonight that there is an internal debate at the White House about whether they should release the memo with other supporting documents. And I, for one, am for full transparency. Release it all. And I don't really want anything redacted. Maybe if it impacts sources and methods and security only. Make the memo public. And by the way, it's about getting the truth out, and that is scaring the living hell out of some people at the FBI and the DOJ tonight, and of course the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, and of course Peter Strzok. Now, according to the Daily Beast, Rosenstein, he's named in that memo, and according to other reporting, the Deputy Attorney General is responsible for extending the FISA warrant to literally spy on Trump campaign manager. Remember, the pretext was all under Carter Page. They went much further, and clearly Rosenstein is shaking in his boots tonight. Now, we're hearing from sources that he is the most scared individual in Washington right now. And at this point, it's all about self-preservation for him. Now, just look at what fake news CNN is reporting tonight. That President Trump asked Rosenstein if he was on his team. Now, someone might want to check Rosenstein's phone records and emails, because isn't it a little too convenient that when the walls begin to close in on him, especially after McCabe being fired, all of a sudden there's a targeted leak to make Rosenstein look better? Now, the FBI is also trying to attack the memo. And Peter Strzok, he's trying to distract away from his own scandals by selectively leaking information to CNN to try and make himself look better. Now, Sarah Carter, who will join us in a little bit, is reporting tonight that the U.S. intelligence agencies are joining the effort to block the memo from being released. They don't want us to see it. They don't want you to see it. You have liberal Senator Cory Booker is saying releasing the memo would be, quote, treasonous. And in a statement earlier, the FBI wrote in part, quote, with regard to the House Intelligence Committee's memorandum, the FBI was provided a limited opportunity to review this memo the day before the committee voted to release it. As expressed during our initial interview, we have grave concerns about material omissions of fact that fundamentally impact the memo's accuracy. So today, the FBI, they're trying to take shots at the memo. But yesterday, our own Catherine Herridge reported this. 2 senior FBI officials that reviewed the memo, quote, could not point to any factual inaccuracies. Now, the House Intelligence Committee Chairman, Devin Nunes, he's firing back with a powerful statement of his own. Here's what he said, and it's very revealing. Having stonewalled Congress's demands for information for nearly a year, it's no surprise to see the FBI and DOJ issue spurious objections to allowing the American people to see information related to surveillance abuses at these agencies. The FBI is intimately familiar with material omissions with respect to their presentations to both Congress and the courts, and they are welcome to make public, to the greatest extent possible, all the information they have on these abuses. Regardless, it's clear that top officials used unverified information in a court document to fuel a counterintelligence investigation during an American political campaign. Once this truth gets out, well, we can begin taking steps to ensure our intelligence agencies and courts are never misused like this again. Now, it makes perfect sense. The FBI would try to tear down or delegitimize that memo because the memo clearly, according to Devin Nunes, exposes top-ranking officials at the Bureau using an unverified Clinton bought and paid for dossier, as we have been telling you, as in part the justification to spy on an opposition campaign during an election and a president-elect and his team. Now, to be clear, the media will never report this. We're not talking about rank-and-file members who work every single day at the FBI, the DOJ, and the intelligence community. What we're talking about, and we're very specific, are a few bad actors in those communities that are on the verge of being exposed for committing massive constitutional violations. Now, that's why they're desperately trying to prevent the memo from coming out, from you having an opportunity to see it. And you may remember back in January, after almost a year of stonewalling Devin Nunes and the House Intel Committee, well, we know that Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray, they went crawling into Speaker Paul Ryan's office, begging at the last hour after a year, don't give the House Intelligence Committee access to the Russia investigation-related documents. Nunes had to threaten to hold them in contempt before they would comply. And thankfully, to Speaker Ryan's credit, he held his ground in that meeting. Now, if they did nothing wrong, if they didn't do anything wrong, then why fight so hard to prevent Congress from seeing the documents? Release the memo, release the underlying documents with it, the documentation of it all. And if they did nothing wrong, well, then they were why are they trying to stop the memo from coming out? What don't top FBI and DOJ officials want you, the American people, to know? This is an important question. We're heading towards a showdown.